What's up, y'all? In this video, we're going to talk about how you can create a business plan in 5 simple steps. Check it out. What's up, y'all? My name is Saluto Uba, and I'm the founder of the Uba Law Group. We're a law firm that helps companies protect their business, brand, and bank. And today, we want to talk about how you can create a business plan in 5 simple steps. Now, when it comes to a business plan, this is a plan, a document, a strategy that lays out how your business is going to operate and what's going to do and how it's really going to achieve the goal that you want to achieve as a business owner. Business plans are very important because they provide you with a roadmap of how your company is going to operate. Many times, if we just try to jump in this thing and just run 100 miles an hour, we can go 100 miles an hour in the wrong direction. So when we create a business plan, it gives us guidance and it gives us a game plan to direct what we're doing in our companies. So let's check it out really quickly. Now, the first step to creating a business plan is answering the question, what do you do? This might seem like a basic question, but many times as business owners, we get what I like to call shiny object syndrome. The downside of shiny object syndrome is that we don't key in on basic goals, 1 or 2 that we want to accomplish in our business. So figuring out what we do, whether we're a restaurant or a trucking company or a t-shirt design brand or whatever, figuring out what we do is going to be crucial because that is the foundation of everything that your business is going to be built upon. Now, step 2 to creating a business plan is after you figure out what you do, you need to figure out who you do it for. This also sounds simple until you start to realize that your market is going to be very, very broad unless you bring it in and get very focused on who your ideal client is. The idea of an ideal client is that person that would receive the most value and would resonate with what you do as a business owner. Now, just because you have an ideal client doesn't mean that you're neglecting everybody else that's out there in the world. But the reason why an ideal client is so important is because if you don't focus on someone, a specific type of person, and solve a specific type of problem that they have, it's going to be very hard to create traction and really generate people that tribe, that values what you do, that will turn into repeat customers, that will turn into a scalable business for you and your company. So figuring out who you do it for is extremely important as you build out your business plan. Now, step 3 to figuring out a business plan is how will you do it? The how means whatever your business is, whatever your service or your product is, how are you going to perform that service? How are you going to create that product? This is going to be extremely important. Now, how will entail things like the actual process of creating your product or delivering your service. It's going to include whether or not you're going to need certain type of equipment or inventory. It's going to include types of permits or licenses that you're going to need. It's going to include the actual nuts and bolts of the deliverable that you provide to your client. The how is extremely important because depending on your needs as a business and what you need to get off the ground and actually create the value, the service, the product, that's going to dictate a lot of things in your company. Now, number 4 is where will you do it? Where will you provide your service? Where will you sell your product? And this is extremely important because business owners at different seasons in their business will need to be focused at different geographical locations. Even if you're selling online and selling on the internet, where you're selling and where your focus is going to be extremely important because selling to someone in Texas might look different than selling to someone in New York or California. Whether you want to be nationwide from the jump is going to be an important question to answer versus whether you're going to be really local in your city or just statewide. Whether you want to be nationwide with your product from the jump is going to be an important distinction to figure out because it's going to look very different than if you're just focused on your city or maybe just your state or maybe just a region in your state. All these questions are extremely important because they're going to dictate how your business is going to run, so they have to be in your business plan. Now, step number 5 to creating a business plan is one of my favorite steps, and I think it's going to be extremely important as you define how your business and your company is going to impact people. And that's the question of why. Why do you do it? So it's the year 2023. We're in an age and a time where there's pretty much nothing new under the sun. So unless you're developing something that is extremely proprietary or creating a new type of technology, it's most likely people will have seen what you do before or they would have interacted with a product like yours. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. Oftentimes people use the word like saturated and they'll talk about how their industry or their market is saturated and they think it's going to be very difficult for them to break through. And sometimes it can be challenging, but one of the things that we see business owners miss a lot is that your why will distinguish you. I like to call it the unique value proposition? What is it about you in your service and in your company that's going to attract clients to you? Like we said before, there are a lot of people that do what you do most likely. There are a lot of different competitors or service providers, but that doesn't matter. We live in a world of abundance, and we as business owners need to adopt an abundance mindset if we're really gonna make the impact that we believe we can. So just because there are other people out there that do what you do doesn't mean that you can't succeed as a business owner. But what you need to be very clear on is why you're doing it. Because as you're operating your business, you wanna communicate that why. You wanna be very open and honest, and you wanna draw people in that resonate with your same reason for doing your business. So for example, here at the Uba Law Group, we love entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship has entirely changed my life. It's allowed my wife to work from home. It's allowed me to spend so much more time with my kids and my family. It's allowed me to do the things I love with my church and hang out with people who are important and really create an impact that I wouldn't have been able to do if I was working a 9 to 5. Now, there's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5, but I feel a distinct calling towards entrepreneurship. So when I'm working with business owners and when we're talking about their dream and their vision, because my why is to help empower business owners launch and create and grow that business brand and bank, it draws those types of people to me, and we're able to have these types of conversations more often. I'm not the only attorney out there, but I have a why that motivates me and connects people who resonate with that. So no matter what you're doing, no matter what industry you're in, you gotta get very, very, very particular as to your why, and you gotta find some way to communicate that so you can pull in your ideal client as well. Now, I know I said that this is gonna be a list of 5 steps to plan a business, but I wanna throw in a bonus 6th step in there as well. So last step that we're gonna talk about is the who in your business. Now, this might seem like a silly question because oftentimes you're probably assuming that you're gonna be the who in your business. And this is pretty much often the case, but it's not always the case. Sometimes the who that does your business doesn't need to be you. In some situations, it's your role as the company and the business owner to put the pieces in place and let them run. Oftentimes in a company, it might make sense for other people to do the roles that you're not best suited at, and for you to focus on building the company and getting everything together. Now, I'll be honest, this is typically something that happens as companies grow and they start to scale up and develop. And a lot of times, you're probably gonna be wearing a lot of the hats for the majority of the startup phase. But what's really important in your business plan is figuring out, when do I need to bring people on? How can I build out an organizational chart, and how can I figure out a way to make sure that the best person for the job is able to come in as soon as possible so our company can grow, so we can continue to improve and continue to add more value to people. So that's a bonus 6th step. The who in your business does not necessarily need to be you. It might be you for a period of time, but always be thinking and evaluating and putting in your business plan who is the right person for this job, and how can I bring in the best people to help us accomplish our goals. So that was 6 steps to create a business plan, and we hope that this has been valuable to you. We hope that this has helped you along in your business, and if you know anybody that can use this content, please feel free to share this video. While you're at it, like and subscribe and do all that good stuff. But also, if you're looking to start a business, or if you started and you're looking for help, whether it be with business strategy or trademarking, intellectual property, anything like that, we'd be more than happy to help you and really help you accomplish those goals and grow your business to the success that it can be. So until next time, keep on grinding, keep on hustling. I believe in y'all. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.